Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hey, man, Ian, can you believe it is already March?
No.
It is. This is we mention the date usually before we start the show, just kind of kick things off. And it's like, wow, how'd that happen?
It's been pretty much a year since the world went to hell in a handbasket, and we're not quite out of that handbasket yet, and it's...
No, we're still here. We're still trucking along, but yeah,
we are.
This year is flown by, yeah, or not, or it's crawled. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Time is an illusion.
Yep. It has been, but especially recently. Well, you know what's not an illusion?
What's that?
The lovely, beautiful folks who send us in questions that they want answered.
That is absolutely true. They give our existence meaning. You can contribute to verifying our very existence by emailing us at BumbleKast@yahoo.com, tweeting to us at BumbleKast, commenting anywhere on the Patreon page over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, comment on any old YouTube video. And if you are a patron, asking in the Q&A channel over on the Discord. If you want your question answered sooner rather than later here on the show, become a $5 patron over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, or send us 2 coffees, that's $6 US, to us via Ko-fi.com, that's ko-fi.com/BumbleKast. Be sure to include your name and your question, otherwise we're just getting money, and that's nice, but that doesn't really help you. Before you ask your question, please check the Q&A master list. Make sure to check the FAQs over at bumbleking.com. And if it's something to do with what might have been in the Archie books, just go ahead and avoid it. Otherwise, we've already answered it, and we don't need to do it again. So don't waste our time. We won't waste your time. No time will be wasted, and we'll just get straight into the priority Q&A.
That's right. Let's go ahead and do it right now. Right now.
Do it.
Here we go.
Now.
Here we go. Here's this first question coming to us courtesy of Dove. They say, hey guys, wasn't that last question awesome?
Sure.
Anyway, Ian, Bucky O'Hare, SWAT cats, or Gargoyles, if you could choose to write an at least 24-issue comic run on any of these franchises, which would you choose? Which would you be most excited for?
Oh my goodness. Gargoyles, number one for sure, but that would be the most intimidating, I feel. Because that's kind of Greg Weisman's baby. That would be like having someone come onto Drogoon and do something, I would love to contribute to that mythos, but it almost feels beyond my grasp. But that would be the one I would like to get into. Second would be SWAT Cats. It's been so long since I watched that show, but it's such a fun, dumb premise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a couple of dudes, and they've got a fighter jet, and they fight mutants and magicians and whatnot. And it's such a weird concept, but such a neat art style.
Yeah.
And a kicking opening theme. So, and decent voice acting from what I remember. But yeah, I'd have to do a lot of research to get back into it, but I don't know. I remember it fondly. Bucky O'Hare, fun story. That was one of the cartoons my mom wouldn't let me watch. And I don't remember why.
Well, that's mean. Because it's a green alien rabbit.
No, something about it being too violent or gross or something. I honestly don't know. Ninja Turtles was fine.
Okay.
Bucky O'Hare was no go. G.I. Joe was a no go because it was too close to real weaponry with rifles and whatnot.
I was gonna say, is this a gun thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, Thundercats and Silverhawks were fine because laser swords and giant cat-shaped tanks were fine. That's pure fantasy. But, G.I. Joe's tech is pretty much high fantasy too. But we're not having that argument from 80 years ago. I'm a grown man. I can watch what I want. But Bucky O'Hare was also a indie comic turned cartoon. It was one of the things that they mined ruthlessly once Ninja Turtles took off. So that's somebody else's baby too. SWAT Cat's probably the same thing. It's just I'm not as familiar with its production. So I don't know if I'd be robbing the cradle on that one either. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That is not the correct term to use. I meant it more like absconding with someone's child, but that is not how that term is used. Not at all. But you know what? We're going to keep it in there because we're just going to roll with it. It's going to be that kind of show, folks. We are just going to keep rolling.
Yeah, we're just getting started. Here we go.
Oh, God, that's the first question.
It's okay. You're fine. Megakirbs is up next with a question. Hello! I absolutely love the Metal Virus Saga and Cream's portrayal especially. I felt it demonstrated a side of Cream we hadn't seen before. Do you currently have any plans for Cream the Rabbit in the next IDW arc? She is my favorite character. Thanks.
Not me personally, because I'm not contributing as much this season. And I'm not going to spoil whatever Evan's plans are, so can't say.
Da-da-da. 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 You'll just have to keep reading. That's kind of how it works, you know? This is just a ploy to keep you reading the comics. How dare you? Scurvy Piratehog has a question. Something I noticed in the IDW books, the way the Metal Virus Saga begins, in the aftermath, a huge battle for the sake of the world. Eggman has amnesia thanks to a gem with incredible powers, the Phantom Ruby. Amnesia Eggman is also based on concept art Eggman, the colors of Mr. Tinker. Then a person wearing purple who admires Eggman, and who's an expert on a gem with incredible powers, Starline and the Warp Topaz, brings Eggman's memories back. Then when the Metal Virus Saga ends, in the aftermath of a great battle, Sonic has lost his memories thanks to a gem with incredible powers, the Warp Topaz, and Amnesia Sonic is based on Concept Sonic, the name Needlemaus. Then a person who wears purple, and is an expert on gems with incredible powers, Blaze and the Soul Emeralds, brings Sonic's memories back. Basically, the Metal Virus Saga ends the way it began. Was this intentional? If so, that's kinda brilliant.
Yes, I'm brilliant. Next question. No, some of that's intentional. I did want to bookend it, kind of wrap up my run with this, before and the same kind of thematic things. The whole person wearing purple and commanding gems, I think, is a bit of a stretch, but you're not wrong. I mean, Starline's more of a burgundy.
Yeah, that's just a happy coincidence.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you paint with broad enough strokes, everything is similar. But no, I did intend some degree of callback. So you're not wrong.
Yes, we'll go with that. You're not wrong. Digamma has a question now. Was Volume 1 of Cosmo originally going to be a full-blown ongoing that got caught up in the Archie transitioning to have its non-Archie, the character, books into miniseries? I don't remember you guys ever calling it a miniseries before it started, and the two volumes have a very different structure and pacing when compared between each other. Actually, I guess you could extend this question to the Mighty Crusaders book from around the same time.
How to answer this delicately? Archie isn't particularly fond with folks talking about the behind-the-scenes stuff. Suffice to say, I wanted to do more with Cosmo and both versions of the Crusaders. I had longer-term visions, and unfortunately, they just didn't pan out. And I'll probably just have to leave it at that for now.
Yeah, well, they didn't seem like they were promoted as minis at the time until a bit into it. So, yeah. Maybe you'll get to revisit them soon enough. Next question is from Jib. I was curious, in the Forces comic and the game, we never got to see how Shadow took down Infinite Squad, as well as his reason. Unless he just saw them as a major threat when he heard Rouge exclaim something took down Omega. Were you ever planning to include that in the comic? And if not, how do you imagine it happened?
Again, the Sonic Forces comics were written by Sega. Or rather, they were plotted by Sega. I just kind of filled in. I connected the dots. I colored inside the lines, more or less. I got to contribute a little bit here and there, but it was pretty much their story. So they never specified what went down. In fact, I didn't even know that Jackal Squad was gone until I played the DLC. So there you go.
Convenient.
As to why Shadow seeks out strong foes, I guess he deemed Jackal Squad strong. Not that there's a lot to go on there, but shrug.
Ink Pants, you have a question? We have an answer. Most Webtoons comics are formatted vertically for mobile. I know firsthand, how much work is involved, but I've always thought Adam's gorgeous artwork would flow really well into that style. It'd also allow you to have extra large panels, since you don't have to cram an entire page into a thin canvas. There are a few limitations to the format. You'd essentially be doing it twice if you wanted to keep the more traditional layout as well, but I was curious if it was something that had crossed your mind.
Not seriously, no. We did discuss it a little bit, but Drogon.com is the primary source of the pages, and Webtoon is just a prolific platform that we are kind of jumping onto. The idea of formatting the pages twice over for different formats is just out of the question. There's no way that either of us can do that in any kind of reasonable speed. So we just format it to Webtoon's limitations, and I would like to think that we kind of stand out as something different, since everyone else does the kind of vertical slice panel by panel thing. Also, it helps contribute to our long-term plans of the Dead Tree edition that will happen once book 1 is done. And I somehow find funding to print a book.
Dead Tree. You might have to kickstart it.
I just might.
Or something like that. Diane W. has a question. This one is very late, but I just want to get it off my chest. The one thing that I hate about Roger Craig Smith leaving the role as Sonic is that we are never going to have a Sonic game with Smith voicing Sonic, where the problems of the 2010s era are addressed in a respectful manner, just as the characterization of the characters, like Sonic and Tails, as well as character development, removing any development that they've had over the past decade before we got to that point, like the Simpsons movie did with Jerk-Ass Homer. Do you think there should be a Sonic game with Smith voicing Sonic, where he's put into a situation where the metaphorical anvil gets dropped on how he's been characterized in the 2010s era, and how he treats his friends, or how he tells us jokes very poorly, or even the other characters and how they've acted since the 2010s, such as Tails or Shadow?
Short answer, no.
No.
Long answer,
no. Sorry.
Over the past 20 years, or give or take, the identity of modern Sonic has been very experimental, and they've taken the various characters in different directions. Trying to reconcile all of that directly, to call it out, to drag it out in center stage and say, look, this is how things have changed and this is where they are now, I think is unnecessary. For the principal audience of the games, who will play, the next title and then forget about Sonic for the next dev cycle, 3 to 5 years, they're not going to be as in depth or care as much about what Sonic is. That is your principal audience.
Right.
Even more frightening to think is that, the number of people who watched the Sonic movie and said, oh yeah, I'm a big Sonic fan. I played Sonic 2 all the time on the Genesis. There is a substantial audience out there who doesn't know modern Sonic at all, any of its highs or lows. So it's one of the, as a completionist, as someone who's written Sonic for so long, I would love the opportunity to, spackle the cracks as plainly and as clearly as I could, for the sake of those fans who do know the series and do care and do keep up with the details. But I feel like at this point, going to great lengths to correct all that is quote unquote wrong would do more damage than good. It would take so much time and so much attention and would require so much approval that I know would never happen, that it wouldn't be a game. It would be a light novel. And that's not the point of Sonic games.
Yeah.
I think the best solution at this point is to, hope for the best, that games will be better constructed story-wise and move forward in a positive fashion. I completely understand the appeal of going back and trying to correct mistakes. I've done that as best I could here and there within the comics. But in terms of a game where the gameplay should come first and foremost, I feel like devoting so much time to addressing what is perceived as narrative faults is the wrong course of action.
It's also subjective in terms of what you would consider good or bad.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't think recent Sonic jokes are very poor necessarily. It's, subjective. It's just a thing where I think you just got to move on. You just got to move on. Speaking of moving on, let's get into this question from Johnny B. Good. Let's rewind back to the first episode of Sonic X. Johnny, we literally just said we should move on. Anyway, let's rewind back to the first episode of Sonic X. If you could put Sonic and Company in any city in fiction at all as a result of chaos control gone wonky, which city would you pick? Open-ended crossover shenanigans ensue.
Oh, jeez.
Any fictional city.
I mean,
Cleveland?
That casts a wide net. Like, are we talking Marvel's New York City? Are we talking the Cloud City of Bespin?
Yeah. Why not? Why not all of them?
Any location from Dune? Are we talking the crater cities of Cowboy Bebop? There's a lot of fictional cities.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're just asking what property you want to cross Sonic over with.
That's pretty much it. That's open-ended crossover shenanigans ensue. That's exactly what they said. That's what Johnny said. So, yeah. I don't know.
Monsteropolis, so that we get a season 1 animation budget for Mega Man crossing over with Sonic.
Yes. Sure, why not? I'll take it.
I say that and then I remember some of the episodes in season 1. Premiere episodes. The ones that they cared about. Your opening 5 and like the season finale, that budget.
Sure.
Give us a Worlds Collide with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm imagining Mega Man in the Sonic X style. That's just weird. Rock with a Chris Thorndark style face? Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let's not think about it too hard.
That's funky.
Yeah, no.
Wily might transition all right, though.
Wily would make it just fine, you know? That's what he does. He makes it. He makes it. He's resilient. He's resourceful. He's also evil, but we'll ignore that. Here's our next question. It comes to us from Off. Having worked on the Transformers Cross My Little Pony crossover, I have to ask, who's your favorite Transformer? Can be from any form of media. Also, bonus question for both you and Kyle. If you were a Transformer, what would your alternate modes be?
Grimlock, and I'd be a Dinobot. No question, no hesitation.
I would be a DeLorean.
Yeah, of course you would.
I suppose. I mean, why not?
I think this is the easiest question we have ever gotten.
It might be. It might be.
I want to be a robot dinosaur because Grimlock is cool. You want to be a DeLorean because they are cool time-traveling cars. Boom, done.
Yeah. Yeah, but now I'm saying, okay, but what dino? What kind of dino?
Oh. Well, see, now you had to make it hard.
Ah.
Because what they ought to do is just a whole line of Dinobots, man.
They really should.
Just, can you imagine, like, an Ultrasaurus play set? The whole thing is just like a walking base, but then it can turn into a more different base.
Wow. I want it.
There are so many cool dinosaurs that could just be robot dinosaurs. By default, they're dinosaurs, thus cool, and if you make them robots, they're even more cool.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. What dinosaur?
Yes.
Shoot, they even have non-dinosaurs with Swoop. He's a pterodon. That's not a dinosaur. It's still cool. Get you a Plesiosaurus submarine Dinobot.
Man. Yeah, they would they'd make a lot of money.
Get like a giant stealth bomber Quetzalcoatl Dinobot. I mean, come on.
Nice.
I mean, if I had to pick one, maybe a Baryonyx, just because the giant toothed duck bill with the big old scythe hands would be metal as hell as a robot.
Whoa, yeah, you're right. That would be awesome.
They're semi-aquatic, so, you have this amphibious sea-to-land attack monster.
Yeah.
With buzzsaw hands and a face that can bite through a tank. Come on!
Nice. That sounds awesome.
I mean, keep with the S convention. You know, you have swoop and snarl and slag and sludge. Name this thing Scream, because that's what you do when you see it coming for you.
Yes. Nice. There we go. That's the good stuff. Also, my favorite Transformer is Windblade. Next question comes to us from Scruffy Met. Hey, fellas, how's it going? Are you having a good podcast? Good. You didn't even give us a chance to answer the question, Scruffy. Why'd you do this? Why you do this to us? Why you do this? I've been replaying the Donkey Kong Country trilogy, and it got me thinking. What do you guys think are some of the best video game trilogies out there? You don't have to limit your answers to just groups of games specifically identified as trilogies, such as the Sonic Advance trilogy, Sonic Riders trilogy, etc., etc. But you can also include groups of games that are consecutive in a series. For example, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and Yoshi's Island.
I know it got a lot of flack and the ending is kind of bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I enjoyed the original Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah.
I look back on it fondly.
And people seem to like it. They seem to be willing to buy it again because they are coming out with a remaster of it.
They are. I'm on the fence because some of the stuff that they showed off, I am not happy with the remaster.
They changed camera angles. How dare they?
No, I don't
That's
care about
stupid
that.
one. No, I know you don't.
There's just, like, one of the shots in particular is from the first game where you have this giant eldritch god machine descending from the sky. And in the original version, the sky is dark and with boiling storm clouds and red electrical lightning coursing from the sky and down the body of this shadowy nightmare that is large enough to consume a building. And in the remastered version, it's a pretty sunset. I mean, yeah, the lighting is excellent and the graphical fidelity is very pretty, but it loses all of the emotion from the moment, and I'm not wild about it.
Yeah, that's weird. It's very strange.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, some of it is worth playing through again just for some of the story moments, and Thane is an absolute boss. Actually, everybody from 2 is pretty freaking cool. Just, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Trilogies that I actually like. It's tough. I mean, the first 3 Mario games are classics, no doubt about that. But, I mean, that seems like an obvious answer, and it's already in line with the example that he gives.
Sure.
And of course, Sonic 1 through 3 and Knuckles, right? We're not counting Knuckles as its own game, right?
No, that's the title, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's how it is.
Okay.
I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
Yes.
And you will walk away with a bloody face, because I mean it.
Yeah. I'm seeing love for the Arkham games, but I've only played the first one. What do you think, Ian?
No. The first one was excellent. The second one was even better, nigh upon perfect. Third one soured me too much.
Yeah.
The Batmobile segments ruined a lot of it for me. The jump scare stuff really turns me off.
Jump scare stuff.
Yeah.
In a Batman game? Weird.
Yeah. And I don't know, I felt like the combat system was less reliable. I felt like I had a lot more frustration with that one. I mean, it certainly had some excellent moments, to be sure, but overall, I didn't like the story presentation as much, and it's one of those games where I don't want to go back and play it again.
Yeah, you could ignore Night and just say Origins instead.
I didn't play that one.
You didn't? Okay. I haven't played it either. I haven't even played City, which I hear I should.
Oh yeah,
I like the first one well enough.
Asylum is very good,
Mm-hmm.
but City is just, everything is better.
Yeah.
It's everything that was great about Arkham with good boss battles.
You streamed Night, right?
I started to, and then got to the point where it stopped being fun, and I knew that we were going to eventually get to the point where it was even less fun, and so I stopped.
Okay. All right. That's why what I was thinking. I was like, I didn't necessarily want to stream that one just because you already had, and I thought you'd finished it on stream, but I didn't know you hadn't. But
You want to give it a shot, knock yourself out.
Since neither of us have streamed City, I just might do that at some point.
Yeah, do that. Treat yourself.
Yeah.
Back to the question, I'm having a hard time of thinking of actual trilogies,
Right.
1 and 2, sure. I can think of pairs of games that I liked that progression, but trilogies, it's usually there's a weak link somewhere. Like, even if Mass Effect 3 kind of dropped the ball in a lot of ways, I still enjoyed it overall.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, the Halo trilogy, the third one really soured me to the entire ordeal. Even looking back at 2, there's not a lot of stages that I would want to go back and play again, but I enjoy the story so much, and there are certain stages that I adore that I remember it fondly. And the first game's just kind of fun in its own right, Flood aside. The third game, though, is just such a misfire on almost every level. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say like Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, and Mario Odyssey, and ignore Galaxy 2, or just mash both Galaxy 1 and 2 together, since their 2 is essentially an expansion pack for the first one, really.
Well, that also seems you enjoyed Sunshine, so...
Sunshine is the weakest link in that one, even though I like Sunshine personally.
Okay.
It's different. It's weird, I will admit. Flood is a very acquired taste, but it's just it's such a nice game. It's colorful, it's upbeat. It's also got them brutal stages without Flood.
You can make Yoshi vomit on people, then slowly die as he dissolves into water.
Yeah, Yoshi is water soluble, or is not water soluble. I don't know. Yeah, either way, it's still a fun game. But I mean, Galaxy is awesome, and Odyssey is just kind of amazing. So that's kind of one where you could say it progressively gets better throughout the trilogy as you go along. Let's see what else. Mario Kart. There's a few good runs of 3 in there, but sometimes some are better than others. Otherwise, the Sonic racing games, Sonic R, Sonic and All-Stars Racing, and then All-Stars Racing Transformed. Those three are pretty good.
I wouldn't place those all 3 together, though, because Sonic R is a completely different beast. If anything, Sonic R kind of fits in with the Rivals games.
Yeah, but that's not a good trilogy, Ian. We don't acknowledge the Rivals games around here anymore. We have officially disowned them. At least I have.
I beg your pardon. Sir.
The first game was a freaking slog, man. I don't know. It broke me. It really did. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. Capcom versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, and Marvel versus Capcom 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. You're good. Yep. Those are ones that get progressively better and better. And that's a great line of games right there. And same with Mortal Kombat, the first 3 original arcade games. They just get progressively more crazy as they put more and more characters into them. So, yeah, those are good ones too. Some good suggestions there. All right. Ian, tell us a little bit about the Bumble Comic Shop and where people can get some comics signed by you.
The Bumble Comic Shop is where you can get books signed by me. Head over to bumbleking.com and look under the Shops tab for the Bumble Comic Shop. Everything is priced as they would be at conventions, so even exclusive rare covers are the same price as regular old covers. We have Sonic books, we have Star Wars books, we have Ninja Turtle books, we have My Little Pony and Transformer books. Head over to bumbleking.com and check it out right now.
Do it now. All right, let's jump on over into the standard Q&A. Our first question comes from Tick Tick. Does Sonic canonically see the world through a cartoony lens? The last couple lines in a progressive commercial featuring Sonic just seems like a little bit of a tidbit that Sega believes to be true, but doesn't tell fans.
I wouldn't read too much into that joke.
No. I wouldn't read too much into Sonic appearing in a licensed form in a commercial for car insurance.
You might just say he was going with the flow.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's weird. Not everything is lore. Sometimes it's just there. Anyway, Cassidy J is here. I have a question. Hey, Ian, about Wave the Swallow. I've been wondering if she's actually wearing some sort of tube top / bra / bikini top, or if it's just feathers that looks like a top like that. I've always wondered this, as I was never able to figure it out. Thanks.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't think Sega knows, probably.
I know that she got a redesign, or an alternate skin, I should say, in Speed Battle. And I think the top would imply that her regular design, that is just clothing, but it looks feathery. I don't know. I really don't know. And it's one of those little detail things that just kind of sticks between your teeth and annoys you because you can't get rid of it.
I mean, it's a feathery clothing. Why not? It's a little weird, but sure.
I think it's just because Jet and Storm both have feathery tufted chests. So the implication would be that she too has that, but it's also a clean article of clothing. I don't know.
Fan asked, does Wave wear a white top or just have white feathers? And Sega's answer is yes. Next question comes from Vlad C. In IDW number 32, Blaze uses them to cure Sonic's amnesia. I'm thinking they are referring to the Soul Emeralds, restoring his memories. What is the extent of this memory power? Can the Soul Emeralds bring back memories from Sonic 06, tying into the theories that Blaze remembers 06? Are the Chaos Emeralds capable of the same or similar feats in regards to memory restoration?
So Sega made this very clear in their notes. The Soul Emeralds cannot restore memory. It's that Sonic saw her enhanced state and reminded him of his supersonic state, and that triggered his memories. That is the official Sega word on everything.
Next up, Samurai Joe 1. If you had to live in an adventure / modern era city or country, which ones would it be? Examples being Spagonia, Station Square, assuming it's been rebuilt, Central City, Soliana, Adabat, etc.
I don't know. Empire City might be about my speed.
I don't know. Seems like terrible things happen in all of them.
The worst thing that happened to Empire City is it was omitted in some of the versions of the game.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it's fine. Traffic looks like a nightmare, but...
Well, I mean, Eggman keeps attacking, I assume.
I think as far as the story in Unleashed goes, Empire City is just kind of on the side.
I don't know.
It has no story effects whatsoever. And thus, it's nice and quiet and chill.
For now.
For now,
until Eggman summons an eldritch abomination into the middle of it, and then it's all over. I don't know what city I'd live in. I don't know, honestly. Metropolis Zone? That doesn't count. That's not modern. I don't know. None of them. I don't know. Speed Highway. Sure, why not? Next question is from Levrai Yugi. Hello, Mr. Flynn. I love your work on the Sonic comics, but there's a problem. It's that I am French, and I do not speak English, and I want to read these works. Are there French versions, or will I have to translate 100% myself? Thank you for answering me. I owe you all my respect.
Well, you are in luck because Mana Books Publishing does translated versions of the IDW books. They are up through volume 4, according to what I can find online. So look for them in your bookstore. They're not the individual issues, unfortunately. They're only the trades, but that's better than nothing.
Right, yeah. And also apparently they're hardcover books, which is pretty neat. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, look for those. Next question comes from Sum Tang Wong. I'm not sure I understand the outcome of the Penders v. Sega lawsuit that was made while Sonic was still being published by Archie Comics. Does the list of mandates, no excessive emotion, Sonic isn't allowed to fail, etc., still apply in full to the IDW Sonic publications?
You are mixing a lot of things.
Yeah, I think so.
Number one, from what I remember, the lawsuit between him and Sega and EA was it timed out?
Right.
It got thrown out?
It was thrown out because it was past, it was,
Was the statute of limitations?
something like that because of how long video games, sales runs count for.
Yeah, okay. So more or less his beef with Sega and EA just ran out of time, so it was thrown out. That was related to, but I don't believe formally connected to, the Archie versus him court case. That was a different thing altogether, and none of that has any application to Sega's licensing rules. Sega, has rules on how their character should be portrayed in any given media. That's the same now as it was then.
Yeah. And then apparently he tried to do it again, and the judge threw it out again.
I can't keep track of it all.
As for a list of mandates, I think we've been over this. There is no specific list of mandates. It's pretty much on a case-by-case.
Well, like
what
I said,
Sega decides.
The licensing rules for any franchise, are the same.
Well, yeah. Next question is from Yes94. I have a question, but I don't know if it was answered before by Sega. Is Shadow immortal?
I don't know. I mean, I was technically around in Silver's time, but that's because he was put in some kind of weird stasis crucifix. Yeah, he was created 50 years ago, but again, he was put in some kind of stasis bubble tube capsule thingy, so I don't know if the ultimate life form doesn't age or if he just ages slowly.
He's not supposed to age.
No, he's not? Okay. Then no, he's immortal.
Okay. I mean, but wait, isn't the current Shadow a clone of the original? And what is Ian? What is? Just tell me. Do you know?
Shadow is Shadow. Let's just leave it at that.
The clone was a ruse? Okay, so he didn't burn up in the atmosphere on the way?
No. If you're playing Shadow the Hedgehog and you
there's the problem.
Take your time during the final boss fight.
Right, okay.
You might get a random sound bite from Eggman saying that one of his robots grabbed Shadow during his fall.
All right, okay. Well, I didn't play through Shadow the Hedgehog in full. I played through a couple endings and decided I'd had enough.
Understandable.
So I can only listen to Shadow say, "This is who I am," so many times. I can only do that so many times. Anyway, next question is from Slinky. Will there ever be LGBTQ plus characters in Sonic IDW?
Yeah, probably.
There might be right now. I mean, Dingle and Whisper are there. Dun dun dun. That's a headcanon. That's not canon. Don't take what I say as canon. That's not canon. That's headcanon. But hey, whatever. Ian can decide.
Not really. That's more of a Sega thing.
Ian and Sega can decide.
If Sega says no, we don't want that kind of representation in the book, then there's nothing really I can do about it aside from be mad. But
you just have to allude to it. You just have to be real secretive and sneaky about it. Da da da. Was there anything else on that you were gonna say before I put you under the gun? Okay. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And finally, our last question this week comes to us courtesy of Nicholas P. Going off of a certain line in Shadow the Hedgehog, oh boy, here we go. Is it actually considered in character for Shadow to steal candy from babies?
I believe the actual line was something akin to, It's like stealing candy from a baby, which is something I would totally do.
Fine by me.
Excuse me, which would be fine by me.
Is that what is that what he says?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he proceeds to like rip something out of a spaceship and cause him to crash. It's stupid.
Boy,
No.
that writing though, man, that writing is great.
Yeah. It's something.
Wow. Oh boy, that's worse than I remember. And what I remember is pretty bad. Wow.
But no, I don't believe that it's considered on the table for his characterization anymore. That might imply he has some kind of character to have to begin with.
I think they've pretty much given up on that.
Which is fine by me.
Yeah, they've pretty much given up on Shadow as a character, it seems like. They can't figure him out, so they just gave up. I don't blame him. They should have kept him dead after SA2. Would have fixed a lot of problems.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but that would be leaving money on the table.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, Shadow fans, but yeah. He was too popular for his own good. Anyway, that's going to do it for this edition of the BumbleKast, I believe. At least that's the last question. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add, Ian.
I do. I want to add the names of everyone who supports this show because they're freaking awesome.
What? Okay, fine. I'll allow it.
Big thank you to Daniel H., Alex P., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Robotnik Holmes, Mike B., Justin G., Torchbound, Koopling Crew 128, Do As Diz, Din, Diane W., Scruffy, Matt, Andrew D., Chris A., John M., Dawn B., Yami M., Lee H. K., Lisa M., Sonny Chevelle, Silly String, Takaro, Salute Your Cat, Dave M., Noni Off, Justin S., Blue Title Gamer, Bradley TT, Tick Tick, Papa Tripadopoulos, Final Neil, Digamma F., Wow, Jonathan L., J. Frost, Jonathan D., PC the Unicorn, Rachel W., Godzilla, Chaos Universe, Sonic Legacy, Piggy Bank, Daniel B., Preston M., Dadler the Dalek, Ogilvy Maurice, Jib, Owen BD, Dove, Glitchiest, Sapphire Scarletta, Turbo, Jonathan W., Red Wolf, Red the Supernamic, Crooker, Hero of Light 13, Afro Luffy X, Scurvy Piratehog, and megakirbs.
Megakirbs. Thank you to everybody who is a patron over at patreon.com/BumbleKast. And if you're not a patron,
who adds their questions via Ko-fi.
Oh, yes, them too. And if you're not a patron over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, what are you waiting for? Go! Ian, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on my personal website, bumbleking.com. You can also check out my original series, Drogun. That's DROGUNE.com. We have over 50 pages of free content for you to read right now. You can also find me on Twitter at IanFlynnBKC. Kyle, where can people listen to you all the time?
Well, if you really want to do that, you can head on over to kngi.org. You can find all the archived episodes of the BumbleKast over there in MP3 downloadable format for your listening pleasure, along with all the podcast feed links and everything you want to know, everything you can find about the show. You can also find my other show, Nitro Game Injection, streaming live on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can find all nearly 450 episodes of that show to listen to as well. I do not recommend going back that far, though, because the first episodes were rough, and they were also nearly 18 years ago, so they don't sound great, and it's very early. It's growing pains, but hey, check out some of the more recent ones. And, of course, you can find me on Twitter at KyleJCRB.
Follow the show on Twitter at BumbleKast. Contact us at BumbleKast@yahoo.com and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, our YouTube channel, and kngi.org.
And head on over to the Bumble store. That's shop.spreadshirt.com/Bumble store. You can find all sorts of Bumble items to deck out your Bumble abode in.
And catch BumbleKast Gaming live streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/BumbleKast Gaming Sundays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Indeed. Anyway, that's it. We're done.
That it? We're done.
We're done.
That's questions answered. We have completed the pact for this week, and now I return to the Odin sleep.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. Next Monday, we will awaken and answer your questions once again. But in the meantime, Go away.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Take care of yourselves. Toodles.
Yeah, I'm serious. Go away.
Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and join me... already screwed it up.
Well, here we are.
It's going to be one of those shows.
Yep.
If you want your question asked... if you want your question asked...
Ask her.
This is why we're only keeping to the Q&A today.
You said laser swords and giant cat-shaped tanks, and now you're gone. Uh-oh, they got him. They got him.
And the award for the most awkward outro that we've ever done goes to...
Nah, there has to be another more awkward one. There might have been like one early on, before we really codified the format of the show. I don't know though. I don't remember that far ago. I don't remember that long ago. I don't even remember us doing the show in 2015. And I don't remember that being a thing at all. I don't even remember 2015. I feel like I've been doing the show for my entire life.
Have fun editing this show.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's actually not that bad. Just got some things to cut.
And
like all of your answers.
That'd be funny. Welcome to the BumbleKast. And then it's just you for the rest of the show.
Oh boy, wouldn't that be more awkward than ever? I'm awkward on my own. Have you ever listened to NGI?
I have.
Wow. I'm sorry.
No, it's nice background music when I'm doing stuff sometimes.
Okay, good. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Let's see. Sin snuck in a question here for the chat. I finally got a Switch for my birthday present to myself. Hey, congrats. I need game suggestions. I haven't kept up with Nintendo since the GBA. Also known as the GBA. I have Animal Crossing New Horizons. Good. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Good. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Pokemon Sword and Shield. And Smash Brothers Ultimate. Anything else I should pick up?
Where do we start?
Download Hades. It's not a Switch exclusive, but it is a brilliantly written, beautifully scored, absolutely gorgeously rendered roguelike. Oh, of course, Noni. How could I forget Splatoon?
Splatoon, yep.
I mean, it's still going. It's worth playing.
Yep.
Splatoon 3's due out next year, but,
that's next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a lot of stuff to play this year.
Yeah. Hyrule Warriors, that'll keep you busy for a few years.
Yep. That one and Age of Calamity, both of those are solid.
I mean, most of the first party Nintendo games are probably what we're ultimately going to recommend.
The one that I've been sinking time into when I have the time is Stardew Valley, now that the new update dropped.
Yeah.
That is, it's weirdly written, to be kind, but it's incredibly addictive and satisfying farm sim.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sonic Mania.
That one's pretty fun.
Mario Kart 8, that's good. That is the best Mario Kart to date. No contest.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is good stuff. It's good stuff. The Blaster Master games. I mean, they're on PC as well. They're on other platforms too, but
Pokemon Snap's coming out in April.
Classics.
That I'm excited about.
And
this is a blast from the past. Republic Commando, which
for
I
Star
believe
Wars.
I believe that was original Xbox.
It was around that era. Yep.
That is getting a remaster for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't know.
Because it has a Star Wars name on it and it prints money.
I guess. And just why dig that deep? Give us Rogue Squadron if you're going to go that far. But anyway, I remember enjoying the crap out of that one. So, and it's like going to be $20. So I'm snatching that up when it comes out next month.
Yeah. There's also Mario Odyssey, of course. Like I said, most of the first-party Nintendo developed games are going to get a pass. They're going to be recommended generally.
I mean, you're overwhelmed with choice at this point. What you have, right? Like Breath of the Wild by itself will occupy you for months.
You have quite a good selection of games there, so I don't think you're going to be hurting for stuff to do.